Already, too. Looking like sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Dallas Cowboys. And why the Dallas Cowboys 0-16? Because they suck. They do. They lost tonight, baby. Ooh, welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box, every 5 or 10 minutes or so. As soon as I see something in there, try to respond to as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Plus, also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might want to be, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. It would mean the world to me. In the description box below, top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. And then finally, a little farther down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one is a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. Then the second one, it's Twitter. It's always been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. It'll be Twitter 3 trillion years from now. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on him. I'm not calling it that. It's Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I try to put Giant stuff in there every day. If you follow me on Twitter, I will follow you back. That's an absolute promise. And then additionally, that other link, the one just above the Twitter link, the Facebook link, it takes you to my group, my Facebook group called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. We have about 7,000 members in the group. It's growing every day. It's doing simply fantastic. If I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, there's stuff going in the group every day. And not only that, if you become a member, right, the members post stuff in here as well every day. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information, darn near 365. If you join the group, please become a member. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right, we're all stuff said and done and out of the way with. I'll tell you what, boy. Wow. Woo! Boy, I'll tell you, once you can't even talk. I'm going to do a video and I can't even talk. Man, that's about wraps it up there, guys. It just takes the words right out of your mouth. I mean, I'll tell you what. Just when you thought the dumpster fire was on fire, I guess we can't complain too much because one thing I guess did go right for the Giants, so I guess we can't say absolutely nothing. I mean, we did have that historic comeback against the Cardinals, but apparently I guess that's the only thing that's going to be good for the Giants. That's the only thing that's going to go good in the Giants all season long. Meanwhile, the other teams, like the rich get richer and the Giants keep getting poorer or injured, shall we say. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. You think the offensive line is going to get a little better, maybe, and we have to give them 8 sacks. I mean, it's like we're taking steps backwards. Daniel Jones, I mean, is possibly ACL. We'll have to wind up finding out. But I mean, if he can't put, It's weird. He got injured. What's going on there? Joe, Daniel Jones is the biggest waste in franchise. The entire front office and staff should be fired. Well, bringing that up, I mean, if you look, the Giants got, who knows? I mean, sure, the Giants wind up effing this up so long, but the Giants have picked 4. Now, the great thing about that right now, if you look, right, if you look, now, we're not sure what the Cardinals are doing there, right? We're not sure what the Cardinals are doing because, where is it at here? Hold on. I got it there somewhere. Is that it? There we go. Right? Because as of right now, right, we're not sure what the Cardinals are doing. Because they got the first pick. We're not sure what they're going to do with Murray. Right? You're not, are they keeping Murray? Are they going to, you know what I mean? Because this is another new coaching staff with Murray. The guys, do they have hopes for him? If the Cardinals have hopes for him, the next 2, I mean, this is as of right now. We still got 8 games to go. Once again, sure, the Giants will F this up. So let's keep that in mind. Okay. We got a big showdown, big one coming up against the Patriots because this is like pick 4 going up against pick 5, right? But the next 2 picks of the Bears, they got Justin Fields, right? They don't need a quarterback, right? I mean, I'm not drafting a guy, Justin Fields. I'm going to give the guy at least, little, keep giving him some opportunities. Try to build the team around him. I was wrong about him. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest quarterback of all time, but possibly his weapons were maybe a little on the weaker side or whatever. But he certainly seems like I was wrong about him. But so the Giants got to pick 4. So we got three picks in front of and those 3 picks, the Cardinals and the next 2 are the Bears. Pick 4 is the Giants. So, the Giants maybe pick the phone up. I mean, once again, we're only halfway through the season, right? I'm just saying it was right now. You pick the call the Cardinals. We just picked up a second rounder for next year, right? Second rounder. We could give them to go up from 4 to 1. We can give them 2 1s and our second. Give them our extra second from the Seahawks. So maybe we give them our pick number 4. Maybe our first round pick from the next. I don't know how, what it would cost to go up, the 3 spots. We get the number 1. Could be looking quarterback there, baby. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, what do we got here? We officially entered said we still got 8 games to go, but, I think we scored. Oh, crap. Is it 10? We scored 10 touchdowns now. 9 games. But the offense, one of them was the defensive touchdown. So the offense has scored 9 offensive touchdowns in 9 games. You realize that the Dolphins scored 10 touchdowns in 1 game? We've scored 9 touchdowns in 9 games offensively. Caleb or Daniels from LSU are the best 2 quarterbacks in the country. I don't want Mayor Zach Wilson. Well, we don't want Zach Wilson 2.0, that's for sure. But Shane's been out, in stands with binoculars. So now it also might have to wind up being, if so facto, we might have to just wind up trying to draft somebody anyway. I mean, because it's almost like, I love Tyrod, but it's Tyrod gets injured, Taylor. I like Daniel Jones. I don't think he's the future. No, he's a good quarterback, but it's becoming Daniel gets injured, Jones. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But Shane is out there. He's out there. He's out there. He's looking. He's seeing who's naughty, who's nice. So in Shane, we trust. So I'll say. I like 2-point play. I like that 2-point play. Smart. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, at least we scored. I was wondering because when we got down there, I'm like, man, are we going to like kick a field goal to try to avoid a shutout if we don't score a touchdown? But we took care of that, thankfully. Table is genius with that call. He's so guru here. We made history the first time in NFL history. A guy tore his ACL. Actually took another step. Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, apparently he tore it, right? And then he was on the sideline, and what Dable was saying, he's running. He said he was running it off. He's like, yeah, he said he's good. He said he was all right. Yeah. So, yeah, we put him back out there. And he got the ball, took like 2 snaps back. I mean, I guess he tried to put some, maybe he was trying to, I guess maybe plant on the something. I guess maybe running is one thing, but going back and maybe trying to plant on it, whatever, was something. And he just went right there. I mean, now, once again, I mean, I'm just reading stuff and all that. I don't know, but probably, I mean, if you can't put pressure on it, I mean. Oh, my God. At this point, I wish we choked away the car. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I'm about as dumb as a box of rocks. So don't get me. I ain't trying to brag here or nothing. But I'm going to survive a knockout pool, whatever it is. So I just won this week too. So now I'm going into week 10. And somehow I lucked out. I got down on my knees and I said, please, sweet dear baby Jesus, let the Giants win today. I actually picked the Giants in week 2 over the Cardinals. That was my knockout pool. So I lucked out there. I mean, I really lucked out. We had to have an epic comeback in the second half to beat the Cardinals. I mean, oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we would have the first overall pick now. I'm not sure. I didn't, the winning percentages. I don't even know. But we would obviously only have one win. So I don't know. No. Well, the Cardinals would certainly be, because Cardinals would then have 2 wins. We would only have 1. I don't know if we would be ahead of the Panthers or not. That I'm not sure. I don't know. But I mean, Jesus Christ, Jiminy Cricket. I mean, let's say, if Daniel can't go, right? I mean, his season's over with, right? Possibly. I don't even know. I mean, worth be bringing him back. I mean, say it's whatever. Something's wrong with his knee, and say he come back in 3 weeks or so, and we're 2-12 or whatever. It's like, once you fully recover, So I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, we got DeVito and Barkley next week. I mean, and then we got to look for maybe another quarterback. I mean, holy cow! You can just chalk up the Cowboy game. That's a loss. I mean, oh my God, the Cowboys, they put up they kill mediocre. I think they've won 11 games in a row at home. They should have beat the Eagles today, but it is what it is. I mean, I can't stand it. Can't stand the Eagles. But I mean, the Cowboys, I think, won 11 games in a row at home. They're killing a lot of the poor teams. So I mean, you can probably pretty much 2-8. We're staring 2-8 right in the face. Hopefully nobody gets really that injured, but only the Giants can have a guy run off a 20. It's unbelievable. I mean, that's what Dable said after the time. He's like, yeah, no, he went down. Yeah, he was running off. And he said, and Dable's like, people kept going up to him. You good? You good? Oh, I'm good, man. Let's roll, babe. Give me the play. I'm ready to go, coach. Okay, all right, go in there. Let's see what you got, kiddo. He took 3 steps back, and that season's over. I think we should sign Paul. I tell you what, dude, he couldn't do any worse. I mean, I would even say, but we can't. The original Paul crew. What's his name? Yeah, who's hold on. Let me type this in here. The actor who passed away. Okay, there you go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Man, 1974. Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds. Yeah, I was going to say, we can get Burt Reynolds, who just passed away. He passed away recently, who was the original Paul Crewe in the Longest Yard, 1974. We could get him, and he's dead, and he'd probably still do as good of a job. Right? Hey, Adam Sandler, let's bring him in. Right? Can't do any worse, can he? I mean, you got to give DeVito some credit. I mean, those 2 interceptions. What was it, 14-0, and then you kind of like blinked your eye and it was like 24-0. It was like the interceptions just basically just sunk the battleship. Because when you got a backup quarterback in there, you know what I mean? I mean, unless he's like Jesus Christ or something, I mean, it's going to be awfully tough to come back from a huge deficit. When you're not 24-0, it's pretty much almost like game over. But I mean, you got to give him some credit. I said those 2 interceptions are, is what it is. But I mean, we went from 14-0 to 24-0 at halftime. But where are we at here? Was he 15 out of 20? If I can find it here. Nope, that's not it. There we go. All right, let's see here. Box score. Let's see here. Yeah, 15 out of 20, 175 yards, 8.8 yards an attempt. I mean, you look at that. I mean, Daniel Jones was 2.8 yards a pass attempt. 2.8 yards per pass attempt. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely horrible and 10 being absolutely fantastic, a 2.8, 1 being horrible, the worst, 10 being the best, a 2.8 yards per pass attempt is like a minus 572 trillion. I mean, it's 2.8 per pass attempt. I mean, holy cow. 8.8 yards per pass attempt. That's not too bad. Of course, once again, he's, he needs more snaps. Maybe he'll get them next week against the Cowboys. Who knows? Dying to see who's going to be the quarterback next week. But, 8.8 yards per pass attempt. I mean, 15 out of 20. Actually, almost all of his pass attempts were completed, right? Because 2 of them went to the other team. So actually, it was like 17 out of 20, right? He only had 3 incomplete passes that hit the ground, right? Let's see here. So, I mean, 15 out of 20, he was sacked 6 times. So, offensive line, but, 175 yards. He had the 1 touchdown, 8.8 yards per pass attempt. So 75% completion percentage. I mean, not too bad. Of course, 6 sacks really kills him. I mean, so it just goes to show, we got it. Oh my God. Hodgins dropped 1. Yeah. Yep. Because sometimes it's if Daniel Jones throws the same kind of pass, maybe Hodgins can't, because he's probably used to maybe a Daniel Jones or Tyrod. He's not probably very familiar with DeVito throwing him many passes, And for him to drop 1, it's kind of odd. I mean, Hodgins last year was really good as far as catching balls. Bellinger was really good last year as far as catching balls, and he's a little bit different this year. So, I mean, and it's almost kind of a lot like preseason. I mean, DeVito get the ball, drop him, he get the ball would hit his hand, and then he does the 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dodge, dive, dip, duck, and dodge. The 5 Ds. The ball is hitting his hand. He's in the shotgun formation. Ball comes, hits his hand. First thing he's got to do is dodge, because there's 17 guys in the backfield. He's running for his life. He's scrambling out to, just looking for, I mean, and then of course in this game he gets sacked 6 times. I mean, are we ever going to be able to protect the quarterback? Can we ever protect the quarterback? It is absolutely amazing. And I mean, you can kind of look at it like, we get these quarterbacks coming out, but I mean, if we can't protect anybody, I mean, they got some soul searching to do this. I mean, what are they going to do? You know, they got to figure out something with Neal. I mean, this is the second season in a row he's been injured. Not saying every season he's going to get injured, but does everything have to be absolutely perfect for him to be? Because I mean, everybody's halfway through the season. I mean, especially if you're healthy, right? If you're the right tackle and you're healthy and you played every game, it doesn't matter. You're going to be dinged up somewhere along the line, right? So nobody's perfect. The only one who's perfect is like somebody who's never played the whole season, right? But if you played right tackle for 8 or 9 games for a season, you played hundreds of snaps, right? You got some dings on you without question. I mean, what are we doing, Evan Neal? What are we going to do? They're going to give him another season out there and hope and pray he stays healthy. And then maybe if he can stay healthy, maybe he'll get better. I mean, we got to figure out something out with this offensive line, boy. I'll tell you. I mean, tell you what, boy. And but the Giants aren't going to draft a quarterback, that might be beneficial to the Giants as well. I mean, once they got some soul searching to do. What are we doing with Daniel Jones? What are we doing? But if the Giants aren't going to draft a quarterback, that may not be a bad idea. I mean, once again, we're a long way off. The Giants right now are number 4. They could wind up number 14. Who knows, right? But if they wind up, somewhere in the top, it's because there's a lot of good quarterbacks. Somebody might want to jump up with the Giants. If the Giants want to slide back, right? The Giants got a first, and then they got 2 seconds next season, right? The other second will probably be a mid-late second because it's the Seahawks. But if somebody wants to jump up with the Giants at number 4, why wouldn't you want to jump up, maybe with the Giants instead of with the Cardinals? Because if you jump up with the Cardinals, they're going to have to ante up some more draft picks. So if you jump up maybe with the Giants, right? You swap first-round picks. Say somebody from number 10 wants to jump up with the Giants. You swap first-round picks. Now the Giants are picking number 10, and then you get an additional first round from the next season and another second or something, whatever. So the Giants could stockpile some draft picks if they want to go backwards. Once again, it's a long way off. 8 games, right? 8 games left to go, right? Right, whatever. So, got a long way to go. 2-7, that's 9. 8 games left to go. I can add. I'm not that stupid. I'm pretty stupid, but not that stupid. So, I mean, the Giants been in a perfect position maybe to stockpile some draft picks. Oh, we need a quarterback. Jones is never healthy. Well, and he's not, and he's just getting worse. I mean, right? He's just getting worse. I mean, he got dinged in the head, right? Now he's got a problem with his neck. He's had a high ankle sprain. He had the real bad hamstring when he tried to slide against Cincinnati, I believe it was. Now here with his knee, I mean, could be ACL. I mean, last year, he wasn't too bad, but I mean, a lot of his seasons he's injured. Can't draft good. Well, I mean, there's also that more SHI you throw at the wall, maybe something will eventually stick. I mean, but they have to do something. I mean, this is absolutely freaking atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. I mean, the Raiders are, they certainly have some talent, and I was warning, I mean, not that I was just, just some little common sense here or whatever. But the last couple of videos I did do, I was saying, because with Antonio Pierce, fiery guy, passionate, loves football, this, that, and the other thing. The Raiders, they were not happy. A lot of the players maybe weren't happy in the direction that the team was going in and all of that with McDaniels there. So when they let him go, right, it was like a breath of fresh air, right? Right, we're starting anew. Okay, now they're 4-5, right? They're right back in the playoff hunt. Right. But they get Antonio Pierce, right, as the interim coach, a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? Especially that first game, you get the guys all fired up and everything like that. You got a wounded dog coming in here. Let's beat the crap out of this team. Let's kill the Giants, baby. Yeah, let's go. Knocking down the doors and everything, right? Right? It's a perfect game for him. Said I would have rather played the Raiders with Josh McDaniels as the coach, than Antonio Pierce, who has never been a coach before. But for at least that first game, they get the team all riled up and everything like that. And after a while, that riling up and everything, it might start simmering down a little bit, especially, especially if he's not going to wind up being a phenomenal coach. Like Jeff Saturday, right? Like last year, they brought Jeff Saturday in the first game. He got the team fired up. Oddly enough, it was the Colts played the Raiders, and the Colts wound up winning. After that, the Colts went downhill because Jeff Saturday was not a good coach, right? Now, Antonio Pierce going to be a coach? Hey, I'm pulling for him. He was a former Giant. Of course, I wasn't pulling for him today, but, I'm pulling for him. Hey, if he does good, go. More. We owe that guy a lot, man. We owe that dude a lot. Let me tell you what. So if he does good for you. But you don't know. You don't know what kind of coach he's going to wind up being in the future. But I was warned, during the week after they let McDaniels go, that especially for this first game, Pierce just might get the team all fired up and everything. You know what I mean? And that might be, and you can see. Man, not pretty at all. Let me tell you what. They were fired up, and with a backup quarterback in there. Right. Man, so that was not pretty at all. Not pretty at all. Well, we can't draft grades. So, I'll tell you what, we got some soul searching to do. They got some big time decisions coming up. Let me tell you what, big time decisions. Marvin Harrison Jr., right? I think he's a junior, right? May not be a bad pick for the Giants. Once again, if they're picking that low, that might give you your number one stud, your dog wide receiver. Wouldn't that be bad if you have Hyatt, maybe Wan'Dale Robinson in the slot, and then maybe if you can have your dog wide receiver, right? That may not be bad. But the Giants, they got a lot of the free agents. Because they have $45, $50 million for next season, but they got to sign their draft class, right? But it doesn't include, obviously, Leonard Williams is gone. That doesn't Isaiah Simmons, right? Saquon Barkley, got to bring him back. What are we doing with McKinney? So a lot Adoree Jackson. So we got some questions going on there too. So, oh my goodness, this was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Now, I remember in 1973, the Giants lost 42-0 the first time they ever played the Raiders. They went out to Oakland, they played the Raiders, but they lost 42-0. But the Raiders that year were a good team. The 73 Raiders they went to the AFC Championship game. They eventually lost to the Dolphins in a championship game, but the Raiders that year were a good team. So, so that blowout was, but this team in the backup court lose 30-6 at least, but we had our backup quarterback, or actually our third string quarterback in there. So, but this is just, man. You figure we got the Cowboys, two against the Eagles, and the Eagles are what, 8-1 now? I think 8-1. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Let's see here. So the Cardinals are first overall pick. The Panthers have the second pick, but the Bears have it. The Bears are third pick. The Giants are the fourth pick. New England is fifth, but New England has the same record as the Giants, both 2-7. So that game is going to be might want to be a huge freaking game here. Huge game. Now the Giants are averaging. Let's see. I seen this. What was it? We have 101 points we scored, 9 games. So we're averaging a little over 11 points a game. We have 11 points a game. I don't even know how many points we're going to score next week against the Cowboys, just to be honest with you. I mean, let's see. We were 3 for 12 on third downs, 1 for 5 on fourth downs. So between third and fourth downs, we were 4 out of 17. I mean, if you look at all overall, right, I mean, let's see. The Raiders were 5 out of 14 on third downs. They only had 15. What was it? 15 first downs. They had 334 yards of offense. Right? You figure 334 yards of offense. You know, the fact that we didn't have any offense, right? I mean, you know, if our offense was better, we'd be on the offense would be on the field more. They're you know, would be, so they wouldn't have that many. So I mean, some of it was a little, you know, just for that 209 yards pass. Of course, we got no sacks, which is like, you know, something you know, against a backup quarterback, you need, you know, that pressure, the sacks, the hits, and you know. Let me see. What do we? All right, this is what do we got? Box score. All right, now this is here from ESPN. So what do we got here? Sack, quarterback hits. We had 1 quarterback hit. 1. They had 8 sacks and 9 quarterback hits, and 8 tackles for loss. We had 5 tackles for loss. We had 1 quarterback hit. 1. And with the backup quarterback in, I think this is his second NFL start. It's his third game because this is the third game he's been in, but it's the second start. You need the hits, the pressures, the sacks. That's what you need. And we got no sacks, 1 quarterback hit. Oh, my goodness. Xavier McKinney with 10 tackles. Banks had 7. Okereke had 7. Banks had 1 pass defensed. Micah McFadden had 6 tackles. A'Shawn Robinson in there with 6. And I guess it looks like he took up a majority of Leonard Williams' snaps, it seemed like. I mean, we gave up 8 sacks. 8 freaking sacks. Now, I mean, you know, they had carried the ball 34 times. Of course, Jacoby Myers, that 117-yard run, right? But I mean, you know, Jacobs didn't really, 3.8 yards a carry, nothing crazy. I mean, overall, we got 34 carries, 125 yards. Right? I mean, that was a nice touchdown pass that we had. Right? In the corner of the end zone, you know, he was wide open. My God, wide open. Jeez. He was so wide open. But of course, we're down 27-0 at the time. But you know, 3.7 yards a carry. Of course, we gave up some big time completions. We gave a 50-yarder. But Devontae Adams, you know, I'll tell you what, we did a phenomenal job on him. 4 catches for 34 yards. I mean, you know, once again, it's a theory of relativity, right? We only gave up 300. And of course, we gave up 30 points, but I mean, almost 10 of them were almost directly right from the interceptions. But I mean, we gave up 334 yards, 15 first downs. But once again, things are relative. If our offense was on the field more, controlling the ball and all that stuff and everything, our defense is on the sideline, not giving up a lot of yards. I mean, some of the play was obviously not phenomenal, but let's see. Connor was 16 out of 25, 209 yards. He had the 50-yarder. And I said, Tommy DeVito, 15 out of 20, 175 yards. Not too bad. Saquon, you know, really good. 16 carries, 90 yards. Slayton had 4 catches. Bellinger, good to see. He had 3. Bellinger only had 4 catches going into this whole game, this whole season. 4 catches. So yeah, Bellinger almost doubled his receptions in this one game for the whole season. So now he's up to 7. Wandale with 4. Barkley had 3. Hyatt with 2. Campbell with 2, Breida with 1, and Hodgins hit the 1 target. Looked like it was a drop. So, but I don't know what we're going to do next week. I mean, my goodness, you know the Cowboys are really just going to be fuming. They're going to be pissed off big time. I mean, after losing that game to the Eagles, they what was it, 28-23, right? The Cowboys got down. It was like 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. They went for it, didn't make it. If they kicked the field goal, that would have gave them 3 more points. I think they went for a 2-point conversion after their last touchdown. If they just would have kicked the extra point there. And then they had the ball down in Eagles territory with under 2 minutes to go, and there was 4th down and 9. I forgot they were down around the 30 or so or whatever, but they had to go for it because they had to get a touchdown. Of course, they didn't get it. But if they, but so they're going to be pissed off. And unfortunately, next week, it's the Giants going to Dallas, and the Cowboys are going to be very pissed off. So as bad as this game was, next week could be even worse. And it's just like I just have like no answers whatsoever. It just, unfortunately, I mean, Dable and Shane and company. I mean, maybe we might have to do some soul searching as far as with our coaches or whatever, and after the season's over with. But I mean, with Dable and Shane, I mean, because I said this before, because if you go back to 2014, every coach the Giants have had has been there for 2 seasons. Now, I'm going to just to 2014 because Coughlin was around much farther. But if you go back to 2014, the Giants have had every 2 years, they've had a coach. 2014 and 2015 was Coughlin. 16 and 17, right, was McAdoo. 18, 19 was Shermer. 2021 was Judge. 22, 23 is Dable. So somewhere along the line, you're going to need to whatever, bite the bullet or whatever you got to do. And, you just can't keep bringing coaches. I mean, because that's almost, I don't know what's worse, bringing in bad coaches or getting rid of coaches every 2 years, because one, you get a coach in and get rid of one, bring a new coach in, and he's looking, it's like, these guys, they're not my players. They're these, I'm not sinking or swimming with 75% of these aren't my guys. I got to bring my guys in, So then maybe they start getting rid of some guys, start bringing some, and after 2 seasons, they still stink, and you get rid of, the revolving door. Somewhere along the line, you got to have to, stay put for at least a little while. So it's so head scratch. It's like we have like no answers whatsoever, nothing. And I understand we got injuries and everything. I know that. It was just like, man, we have 9 touchdowns on offense in 9 games. We're averaging 11 points a game, 11 points per football game. And we just have no answer. I mean, this offseason will be big. Going to really be big. Thankfully, we got rid of Leo, but at least we have a second rounder. And I said, so we're going to be interested to see where we wind up picking at. Do they want to go after a quarterback, or maybe try to get Harrison, the wide receiver, or maybe jump back and maybe pick up a couple after extra draft picks. But they also have to do something to figure out this offensive line. I mean, if there's an offensive line coach out there, like I thought Munchak, he's a good offensive line. I think he's retired, or he's not coaching. And I saw an article saying that if he found the right situation, he might wind up trying to come back or something. He's a good offensive line coach. The Giants need somebody. And, Bobby Johnson might be a decent coach, but I mean, it's like, oh man, this is just brutal. Oh, absolutely brutal. I mean, got 8 games left to go. 8 games left to go. I said, you got the Cowboys, you got 2 against the Eagles. So, wow. And so then we have what? We got the Patriots, the Packers, the Saints, the Commanders, and the Rams. Right? So we got 5 games, Five games. Five. I don't even know. I don't know. Are they going to bring Tyrod back? They're going to try to bring Tyrod back. Are they going to, Daniel Jones be out? I mean, we got it might be like a couple of years ago. We have to finish with Jake from State Farm, Jake from State Farm, and Mike Lennon finishing the season with guys like that on the team. Oh my God. I mean, just makes you shake your head. Just shake your head. I mean, I don't know. So what did we do to deserve? Yeah. Well, yeah. The problem is that's never. I mean, the players are never gonna, and also you can't, the coach just can't. You can't go into your locker room and say, guys, we're thinking about tanking, guys. That's what we're. The coach can't do that. You're going to lose the locker room. The guys. I mean, because the guys on the team who say they tank. Well, some of the guys on the team who are tanking maybe to help get a quarterback may not be around next season. Why? Because they tanked, and in order to tank, you have to not play good. So at the end of the season, Shane's looking at your tape. Man, this guy sucks. We might have to let go of this guy, and let him go. And then he's out on the streets, and so all his video from last year where he was tanking, that's his resume, right? So the other teams pull out his resume, throw it in the old DVD player and look at it. This guy sucks. So I mean, Saquon's not going to tank. I mean, it's like there's nobody there that's going to tank. I mean, unfortunately. Look at what happened with Peterson. Remember a couple of years ago, the first year was 2020 when Judge was 2020 when Judge was there, and we finished 6-10. And if the Eagles had beaten, I don't even know what the frick they were called. They were the Redskins, the football team. They weren't the Commanders. I don't know what they're called. They beat the Washington team in 2020. Might have been the football team then. The Giants would have won the division and would have gone to the playoffs at 6-10. But I forgot when Peterson pulled Hurts out. He pulled him out. Hurts gave him the best chance to win. Pulled Hurts out. Put in their backup quarterback or whatever, he's the third string quarterback, whatever it was, put him in and basically almost pretty much sealed the deal for the Eagles to lose. Now, Peterson did that, pretty much to throw the game, right? And he got let go after that season. So I mean, you really can't tank. I mean, it's almost impossible to tank. As I said, I haven't been in an NFL locker room, but I mean, I hear so many guys saying the coach can't go in there and say, guys, we're thinking about losing this game. The guys put their heart and soul and everything on there's only 17 games in a season. The guys don't go through all this crap just to go out there and make sure they lose. They're going to play their best, right? We need to draft the QB sign and get as much O-line as we can get, much more defense line, dogs. We need to draft the quarterback sign. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. Just tank as bad as it can get. Oh. Well, I mean, a lot of it you can see, it's trenches, we just talk about the defense, right? The defensive line. I mean, just pressure on a quarterback. It's just, I said, look at the Cowboys and look at the Eagles, right? Right? I mean, they get pressure, offense. Their offensive line, especially the Eagles, is phenomenal. But then again, they have I can't never remember the guy's name, but they have an awesome offensive line coach, the Eagles. Whew. But on defense, right, they get pressure. Now, the Eagles did very good by drafting. The Eagles' run defense is very good, especially right up the middle. But they can also get a lot of pressure, And, it's something the Giants need. I mean, it's both. It's the lines. It all starts with the line. If you got good offensive line, a good defensive line, I mean, I'm saying you're going to win a Super Bowl, but that's a great way to start. On offensive line, if you got a good offensive line, of course, once again, and so much of it is luck because you got to stay healthy. If the Eagles were like the Giants with all their injuries, the Eagles aren't 8-1 or whatever it is. Heck no. I mean, if they had 8 or 9 different starting offensive lines, they ain't 8-1. Absolutely not. So a lot of it's luck. But I mean, if you get a good offensive line, if they can stay healthy, right, and they gel together, I mean, that opens up so much what you can do offensively, right? And as I said, with the quarterback, because we got Daniel Jones is there next year, no matter what. That's a given. We can get rid of him after 2024. I think there's like a $20 million cap hit or something. I think, dead cap hit. But we could, after next season, we could get rid of him. That's why they wanted to give him so much money up front in case something did go wrong. Which things do happen, right? So if something did go wrong, it could be a 2-year deal. Right, get rid of him, get some $20 million dead and get another quarterback in here. Yeah, but we did see what Dable is able. Wow, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. What Dable is able to do with a quarterback, right? Remember, he did very well with Josh Allen. So, I mean, obviously, because remember, as we know, Daniel Jones came with the store. Shane and Dable, that they didn't do nothing with with Daniel Jones, right? So maybe if Shane and Dable, maybe they if Dable's or whatever is like, dude, this quarterback is freaking this mo get the draft. We need to draft this. Whatever you got to do, get this. If Dable sees somebody like a Josh Allen or something or whatever, right? Might have to pull the trigger. Do whatever they can. Maybe get a quarterback in there, right? If not, I mean, hey, if worst comes to worst, it's going to light a fire under Daniel Jones, right? Then again, if Daniel Jones gets injured, which he often does, and we draft this quarterback, right? Maybe it might help replace him. We'll wait and see. Love this stream, bro. Keep it up, my man. Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Thank you. But I mean, this is. this is brutal. Oh man, this is absolutely brutal. I mean, 40-0 to the where are we at here? I had it here. I mean, the 40-0 to the Cowboys. 30-12, 24-3, 31-16. Actually, against the Dolphins, wasn't even that close. Then we lose here 30-6. I mean, you realize, if you take the Cardinal game out, the offense has scored 0, 12, 3, 16, 9, 14, 10, and 6. And my bad. Let me take the defensive touchdown out. Okay. So the Giants scored 0, 12, 3, 9, 9, 14, 10, and 6. I mean, oh my goodness. If you just take the Cardinal game out, the Giants have scored 10 points or less in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games. The offense has scored 10 points or less in 6 games this season. It's kind of which kind of makes me wonder a little bit with Dable, because if you're a really, I understand it, the injuries, it's really tough. It's really tough. But if you're a good, a really good coach, somebody, obviously adversity and all of that, you can find ways, right, to at least make it close. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was the one time, I forgot what year it was, so please, it was the late 90s. The Jets, who the frick were they playing? Was it the Patriots? I think they were playing the Patriots. The Jets were playing the Patriots. 97, 90, whatever it was. Was it the first game of the season? I don't. Maybe it was the first game of the season. The Jets coach with Bill Parcells. Okay. Vinny Testaverde got hurt like the first play of the game. It was like almost an Aaron Rodgers kind of thing. Let me just give me just a second here. I want to, let's see here. I mean, it wasn't 90. That's right. 1997. Let's try this here. New York Jets. Did they play? Who did they play here? The first game of the season. Nope. Overtime loss. Oh, was this the game there? Maybe. I know they lost I know they lost Vinny Testaverde. Nope. It wasn't it. They lost Vinny Testaverde. So anyway, the Jets had to wind up putting in their punter. Nope. Nope. Let's see. Let's try 1999. Maybe it was 99. Yep, here we go. All right, let's see here. 1999. Bill Parcells was the coach. Oddly enough, it was against Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was coaching the Patriots. So week 1 of the 1999 season. All right, Vinny Testaverde was the quarterback for the Jets, the New York Jets. And this was, yeah. So what wound up happening was Vinny Testaverde, I believe he got injured. And then the Jets had to finish up with Rick Meyer came in, and he stunk up the joint. He was 4 out of 11. He threw 2 interceptions. He stunk up the joint. So what I'm not sure if he got injured or not, but in the first game of the season for the Jets, right, they had their punter, Tommy Tupa, went in, right, as a quarterback for the Jets from at least half the game or so. And the Jets lost 30-28, like with their punter as their quarterback, right? Not a third string quarterback who's a quarterback. A punter. See, if you're a good coach, not saying they won the game because they lost 30-28, but they had a punter in there as a quarterback, and they almost won the football game. See, here there's adversity. You know, the offensive line, we got a third string quarterback. I get it, but you know, if the coach is going, you know, I'm not like Dable is trash and he's doom and gloom. He'll never be good. I don't want to say that. Okay, because he did good last season, right? But you know, sometimes the quality of a good coach, I mean, somebody's real good coach, you know, takes what you got, makes the best of it, and makes it at least a competitive game, right? I mean, 30-6. I mean, we just like, you know, against the Jets, right? We scored 10 points, and after that, it was like, you know, just somebody just not competitive. There's like there's no answers. There's like no answers, and that concerns me. That concerns me because like last year when you were winning, when you had an easier schedule and things were going well, and Daniel Jones was healthy and things were kind of hunky dory and all of that for the most part. You know, Andrew Thomas was healthy the whole season. You know, John Feliciano was a decent center, right? But when things are relatively healthy, you know, and things are going good, hey, go, everything's good, right? Hey, we're holding hands, singing Kumbaya and everything like that. But, you know, it's when you start getting that adversity, you know, can you make these games somewhat competitive? And some of this stuff is atrocious, absolutely atrocious. And we're going to see next week against the Cowboys. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. I mean, I don't know if Daniel Jones' season's over. Tyrod's out, you know, because he's got to miss at least 4 games. So, you know, he's gone. So, I mean, I don't know who our quarterback's going to be. Good luck, God bless. But, you know, next, you know, that could be a total massacre next week because, you know, the Cowboys Cowboys are 6-3. They want to still try to win the division, and the Eagles win again. Well, the Eagles got a couple tough games coming up, but if the Eagles win again and somehow the Cowboys were to lose to the Giants, and that would give them their fourth loss, that would almost kind of eliminate them from maybe trying to win the division. And so they don't want to lose too many more games, right? So the Giants coming in a wounded duck. The Cowboys are going to be pissed off, and they might just take it out on the Giants. You know what I mean? So, next week could be I hope not, but could be a total freaking massacre. But the one thing that does bother me is that sometimes when there's adversity, can you take what you got and at least make it a competitive game? And I'm just not seeing that, from Dable. He has just no answers whatsoever. And that's very concerning. All right, guys, it's been 55 minutes. Man, look at those freaking comments. Thank you, guys. You guys freaking rock. Man, thank you. It's so great to talk to some Giant fans. So thank you. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody spends any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. As always, it's 3D, guys. You guys stay safe out there. Go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.